all. I hope you're having a good day and a good week. I thought that today's mindfulness would be good to do, just given the climate of our world and the state things have been in. I very strongly believe and have observed since the last election cycle and since everything going on with COVID and vaccines and shutdowns and things like that, that we've really lost touch with each other in a lot of ways. And I think it's important for connection and community. Hopefully you feel the same way. I think in the last, 20 years or so, we've really had a lot of breakdown to our community. A lot of people don't know their neighbors. They don't know people walking down the street. Part of that's technology's fault, right? We're always in our phones and stuff. And we really don't listen that deeply to other people. So why is this important for our mental health? Well, we often listen with the intent to respond. And what I've seen a lot in our more recent culture, and especially the way things work on social media, is somebody will say something and everybody always has a rebuttal. And we're very much trying to convince other people to think the same way that we do, or to get them to say something so we understand what camp they fall into. And it causes a lot of black and white thinking. And this kind of, what group do you belong to so I can assess you based on that group, but we're all individuals, even within groups, or this kind of you're with us or against us camp. And so a lot of times we don't really hear what other people are trying to say. We're just hearing what they have to say so we can respond to them. This really hurts us in the long run because maybe this person has a lot to teach us. Maybe we do need to hear something from a little bit of a different perspective. And maybe we need to remind ourselves that everybody is human and working it out, and that not all different viewpoints are based in a bad or evil or against me or against us mindset. So this week's mindfulness is going to be a little bit about other people. However, I wanted to let you know how it could relate to you. So I'm going to read the card, and then I'm going to give you a challenge to try this week. And if anybody has any feedback about how it went or if they learned something new, I would love to hear about it. So this week's mindfulness is called Listen Deeply to Others. The next time you're having a conversation with someone, just listen. All too often, a so-called conversation is actually two monologues, with each person just waiting for the other to finish. There are few things as generous as listening deeply to a friend, listening with your whole mind and your whole body, receiving their words and thoughts with your complete presence. Pretty deep. Another way of looking at this is holding space. As rough as the last few years have been for a lot of people, ourselves included sometimes, other people are also having a hard time. And sometimes people just need you to listen and to let them know that somebody hears them, that somebody is connecting with them, even if we don't agree with them. So listening, validation, those types of things does not mean that we're agreeing with them, or that we have to agree with what they say. It's just, are we allowing them the space to express themselves? And hopefully, if we do that for them, they will in turn allow us the space to express ourselves. And that is really important. We all want to feel heard, right? So my challenge for you this week is to pick somebody and try your best to just really listen. Try not to respond right away. If you have these thoughts popping up about, oh, I want to say this, or oh, it reminds me of that, try to just sit with that and sit back and really just hear them. And sometimes a really helpful way to do this is to repeat back to them what they said and ask for confirmation. So for example, it could sound like, oh, so it sounds like you're really worried about going out in public because a lot of places have dropped the mask mandate. Is that what you were saying? And then they can either say yes or no. And sometimes even that simple act of repeating what they said back to them versus what we wanted or felt inclined or impulsive to say makes them really feel heard. And sometimes we did hear them wrong. So maybe it gives them the chance to kind of let you know, oh no, that's not what I said. I said I was worried about this. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. So this is what you're actually worried about. And then we just learn something about them. Or maybe they, like I said, had something to teach us. And now we just got that message and repeating it back. Or maybe we do find we also agree with them. Oh, yeah, it sounds like you're worried about this. I've also been worried about that. And maybe you guys could come up with a solution rather than just worrying about it. So please try this week, and I would love to hear how everybody does with this. It is not something that comes naturally to us. We're very much taught, and it is very ingrained in us to respond, reply, or even to try to change somebody's mind, even though we know that doesn't happen very often. I hope you do well with this, and I hope you have a mindful day. Goodbye.